Do you suggest like having a separate period of meditation, even if you already do like other practices that incorporate meditation? Like, should there be like a daily for people that are established practitioners? Because a lot of times I cheat and I actually just do the meditation that's included in the practices I already do. But I end up doing like sometimes really short meditations in those.
It depends what is beneficial to you. It can be, you know, actually it is valid if one does recitation practices or like the practices I saw you were reciting when I came. It is valid because they can be infused with meditation. And it is completely valid just to do these kind of practices. There's no problem. As long as they go in the same direction. But if you feel you have a need to develop sitting meditation just without references on its own because you feel there is a terrible lack of it, then don't pretend it's included. If you don't feel it's included, then take some time off and do it aside, so that if this quality doesn't come about by itself, you give it some more strengthening like this. It really depends. But I believe it can be included in the other.
You mentioned mindfulness. Can you talk more about that from the Buddhist point of view? What is mindfulness?
It's not being elsewhere.
Not being what?
Not being elsewhere.
Okay.
Instead of having your thoughts about something and doing this, is actually doing this, without thoughts going anywhere else. And then there's very little thoughts, actually we need, very few thoughts we need in order to accomplish what we are doing at the time. Mindfulness is to perceive that I am sitting in a room with people, with animals flying around, with the light turned on. You know, to actually perceive what's going on right here. Mindfulness is, in my case, that I try to be mindful of what I speak actually about. The way I sit. And all of it can be mindfulness. And all of it can be mindlessness, depending how we are relating to it. Mindfulness is to be simple, just to be there. It's to be a state where we finally don't add anything to it.
To be present.
Yeah, to be present. When you talk to somebody, to really talk to somebody. When you listen, to really listen. When you don't want to listen, to really don't listen. Or not to talk. But not to do half, you know? Not let the mouse go one way and the thoughts go another way. Get it together.
Could my Tai Chi be a meditation for me?
Meditation is a word.
I have a friend that says your Tai Chi is your meditation because you're there.
Well,
and I've seen a great deal of change in my way of thinking.
Of course, your Tai Chi, but it's coming from a tradition. Of course, when we say meditation, it can mean any kind of mind state we want to bring about. Tai Chi is a very profound practice that has been brought about in order to generate a mind state in accordance with his philosophy. And it works. Now we have to check out, is this mind state and this philosophy, are they bringing forth the meditation, because they do, that I wish to put the focus on? Or do I wish to accomplish something different? Then I have to infuse my Tai Chi with a different philosophy and a different way my mind is guided. So then it's up to you to see where you want to go. That's why I'm hesitant to say yes or no, because I don't know Tai Chi very well. I only know the Buddhist tradition, so I hesitate to say yes, your Tai Chi is the same as what I teach.
I understand that.
I can't say it. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. It's up to you, as you know, maybe both, to see what it is. I do believe it's very profound and it's definitely working in changing people, but in which way? If it changed people to be more selfless, bringing about qualities of compassion, And though calming the mind, I do not know. Because I never practiced it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I teach, I stick to the methods that I have received, and I know they work exactly for what I want to achieve.
That makes sense.
If we have a goal of what we're desiring to achieve and what we're wanting to get, it seems like it's just craving and like we're trying to fill a void and we're having aversion to this void that we feel. Why can't we just accept the void? Why are we looking for something in the first place?
Well, here there's the whole paradoxical thing of the whole evening. There's the void and the clinging for happiness. I mean, the clinging to happiness and the search for happiness. And all of us search for happiness, and all of us have this terrible black hole in us that doesn't get fed, that doesn't get finally with all the stuff we stuff into it, filled up. So with craving, we won't ever get there. Actually, it will be there by completely letting this void as it is. By finally bearing it. By finally completely letting it be where it is, so that the demon of this void loses its face. That the scary face we always fear to look at, we see it never ever will show. And there is happiness. Happiness is because we don't need to run. We don't need to escape the demon. Or the black hole, or however you want to call it. You call it the void. So, it is to see that the seeming enemy we try to escape in this self-centered feeling, it's maybe never been there. Never been there in the way we thought it to be. And that it can be bared, that it can be completely present and perceived as a friend instead of as an enemy. Exactly what you describe is the motor of all our irritation in all communication, because we always think we have to fix up something. We always have to think to get away from not looking at this empty spot in us, at this spot that can't really be made true. And that's where the whole thing comes from, All the ideas are to kind of stuff it up, to kind of make it something understandable. It just doesn't work. So true happiness is to see that actually it is truly something very different. That this mind we always try to escape from in its relaxed and open state, that in its relaxed and open state it's actually bountiful of joy and qualities, but not in the way we expected it. We thought we have to do something about it. And it's actually just let it as it is. It is happiness. We just can't do it. Okay? Thank you so much for coming.